Hey buds, so the truck is here. We're getting some gym equipment today, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
All right, so there might be an issue because when it was delivered, I gotta work, by the way, but this was bothering me because it was delivered. So the tag says Osprey on it, right? So Fringe Sport Osprey. I didn't buy the Osprey. I bought the Dane too. If we see like the weight stack, if we see anything like with cables and whatnot, the Osprey doesn't have that. So that's what we're hoping to see immediately. Then I can kind of throw the tarp back on here. It's kind of sprinkling a little bit, and then yeah, and then we'll move stuff in later today. So let's get to it. All right, so yes, okay, this is the key right here. The Dane 2 has those colorations on it. This one looks like the other one, and I do see some pulleys there too. This is beautiful news. I was so worried, but no, okay. So we have the Dane 2. It's raining, so I'm gonna cover this back up, and then let's go ahead and throw it in the basement when we're done for work for the day. But I'm so glad that I don't have to ship this back, and we can hopefully get it set up this weekend. Mission, get this area cleaned out so I can at least throw the stuff down here. This cat needs attention. Yeah, I gotta open up the box further and bring in piece by piece. Luckily we have a door down to our basement because that's gonna make things easier. But yeah, it's like 1,000 pounds worth of equipment now. So clean this up and then bring everything in. So let's get to it. All right, well, that's essentially everything. Yeah, at least everything is in here. We can start getting things unwrapped and start setting this thing up. Let's go. Saturday, 11 a.m. now. We get to put the Dane 2 together. So we're gonna go ahead, throw on some Lord of the Rings on the TV there, throw this together, put a little time lapse. We kind of have to change around the setup slightly because let's show you here. Quite close to the ceiling. So with the pulleys on top, I think it's gonna push it into the ceiling. So that's the downside of, I think we have to cut up some of this bottom flooring, and well, we really just wanna make sure that we get this whole setup in the right spot first before we cut up the flooring. I think it should be doable. Should be. Mathematically, the numbers should work out. All right, Gandalf just got to the Shire. We just opened everything up. About 2 trash bags full of bubble wrap. We're on schedule. And just a quick top tip for anyone trying to put this together themselves, these instructions are utter garbage. So Fringe Sport went ahead and created a YouTube video about the setup of this. Go watch that video. It gives you all the information and set it up yourself because these instructions, terrible. All right, and this is exactly why we got to do the order of operations slightly different here, because we are so close, like technically we're hitting the ceiling right there because this is almost vertical. It is so close, but getting that 3/4 of an inch at the bottom from cutting up that mat is gonna give us enough. This pretty much, yeah, is exactly its true 92 inches tall, which sucks for us, but it'll be fine. All right, so at this point in time, Gandalf and Sauron had their little bro tiff, okay? But what we did with this is we marked out the areas of where we need to actually cut. You can kind of see the outline there, and there. And then also we measured over to where the next section should be, centering it as well in the middle of this space where there's gonna be a mirror. So hopefully everything should be good. If it looks terrible in the end, hey, we tried. Moment of truth, see if it fits. Oh, it's still hit. Oh wait, no, we need to bring it back.
You're not.
Oh, it dropped down. What about these ones? Gonna drop those ones in?
Alright, we're in.
Oh, look at that fit. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at this. It's so slick, you could barely tell those mats were cut. It's a custom fit. Good job. And in this next section, what we did is we put on the cross members there so we could get exact measurement for the next holes that we had to cut on the other side. We pushed that other side back up and then put along the back braces. So now we get to do like the other uprights front and back and start the pulleys as well and keep on keeping on. Dang. Dumbledore's lit. Since we have to add the pulley on and it fits down on top, because like these vertical bits come down onto it, we don't have the vertical area up here to go ahead and lift it up and then set it down on. So we have to put that on first, which that's not normal. All Sasha's idea.
I did it.
So I think we're gonna get it. It's really just, you have to do this if your ceiling is just at the right height. But if your ceiling is open, there's not going to be any problems. But this one, I think it should work. So if your ceiling is close to 92 inches, essentially you need to do this a little bit out of order. What you're going to do is you can't put that pulley system directly down from the top, so you need the pulley system to be shifted all the way to the back first. You need it all the way to the back, so when you put on that front pulley here, you have access to these bolts. You're going to tighten down these front bolts all the way, and then you're going to move that pulley system back forward exactly where it is right now, where it should be. Now you're going to have access to the back bolts, and you put them in there. And lastly, essentially routing the cables up top is going to be difficult, but it is doable. Just get your raccoon hands up there and kind of fish it around, and you're good. All right, and so this cross member, we ended up putting it down here on number 6, bolts in number 7 and 5. In the instructions, they say, oh, you can do it on 21. We did it on 6 because when you're putting up these spotter arms, swivel it in, and it's going to lock in. I did it in the middle, but of course it'll be off to the side. So we want to be able to take off the spotter arms, lift up, swivel, and then we can pull out. Doing it their way, they want to do it up on 21, which is essentially putting these upside down. So you'd be putting it in from the bottom, swiveling it in, popping it in. The issue with that is as soon as you swivel it out, it's going to drop down because that's where this little spotter arm is. If you put it in upside down, it's going to drop out. Put it in this way, gravity's going to hold it. So do it like this. That's just going to stay there until you're ready to lift it out. Do it the right way. Don't do it their way. Why did they say that? All right. So we're after lunch. We're still watching Lord of the Rings and onto the second movie and now onto the weight stacks. Let's keep it up. And pretty much adding the pulleys and weight stacks here, Fringe Sport video. Again, highly suggest you go watch it for the setup of your equipment because no issues there. There were a few little metal burrs on the weight stack, so just be careful so you're not slicing your hand open with that. I just took a screwdriver though, popped those burrs out, and we were all good. But yeah, the weight stack went on good, and then onto the pulleys.
And overall with the pulley and cable system here, again, highly suggest just watch the Fringe Sport video because props to them on this part. They made it pretty simple as to which holes the cable is supposed to route through, go up and over the pulley and then back down and through the other ones. Luckily, Sasha's hands were a little bit smaller, so she could kind of fish the cable up and over there. But of course, again, if you don't have a ceiling that's that low, you'll have no problems at all getting this process done. And essentially the final little bit here was just adding this last pulley system and a couple of little bits and bobs, but that setup was decently easy. A little afternoon here, got through a movie and a half of Lord of the Rings Extended Edition, and we really couldn't be happier with the system. High quality, it was delivered to us pretty fast, and overall, I think it's going to be with us for years to come.
Lord of the Rings still going, but the beautiful Dane 2.0, all finished. Pulley pulls definitely smooth enough. As smooth as I need it. Trolley systems going up and down, super easy. Friggin' mint. What do you think?
I think it's great.
You gonna use it?
No, I'm just gonna look at it.
All right. We had the gym memberships, so now that we have this new house, new basement, figured why not go ahead and invest in ourselves, do this within like probably 4 years. If we had like each a gym membership, $50 each month, so what, $600 a year, multiply it over a couple years, this pays for itself eventually. The Dane 2. All set up, done and dusted. We do have all the other little bits and bobs kind of connecting as well. Tested out some of the safety spotter arms, the J cups there. Again, fairly kind of new to just having one of these ourselves, so it's going to be a learning experience, and I think we're going to be pretty happy with it. Overall, yeah, I'm just kind of one of those things of we can finally get this gym set up, then I'll have no excuses to go ahead, hit the gym, get working out, and do more running, right? So we're getting into running, and I think this summer going to transition a little bit into strength and then kind of build up again to the marathon that we are doing in November for New York City. So in May, we do have our marathon for Pittsburgh, but in November, we do have the one for New York City. But overall, Dane 2, super excited. Overall price that we did pay for it, because we also are getting the Mammoth Belt Squat. This one was, I think, around $2,900 for this setup. You know, it comes with something like pulley attachments and things like that. There's a landmine attachment at the bottom. So the bench itself actually is from Rep. So got that from Rep, so it's not part of Fringe Sport as well, even though this is the Fringe Sport Dane 2 rack. Our treadmill over here, that's from Soul Fitness, Soul Treadmill. So kind of brand agnostic. We're not, locked into one brand overall. Fringe, though, does seem to be a good American brand that also is fairly straightforward and has warranties to back up a lot of their equipment. So some awesome warranties that they have. Super excited to go ahead and start working out and getting swole, right? So thanks guys for taking a look at that. If you guys enjoyed it, subscribe. Be super helpful here. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know if you guys are thinking about getting something with the Dane 2 or if you have any questions, right? I can go ahead, try to answer those questions in the comments. Anything that you guys have. All right, talk to you later, buds. Peace.